Hi, and welcome to Brickforce Outpost. Today, I want to build a small rebel encampment in a lush plain. I recently picked up all these nice foliage pieces, and I've been really excited to try them. So my plan is to build a main plain with a rebel encampment, a small hill in the back, and a little lake in the front. I think building these three different sorts of environments should give me a lot of practice with different foliage techniques, in different ways, with different terrain, so I can use these foliage well in future builds. So if you're excited to see some fun foliage techniques, let's build! Alright, and so I've gone ahead and done the base, and this is a 16 by 16, and I've just surrounded it with some extra tiles to make it larger. And then on the bottom, I've made sure to lock them all together and add some extra ones so that it doesn't flex when it's down here. Alright, and then I've also put a black border around it for the bricks to go on later to have a nice clean border, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, and so now I've added the bricks and the plates, and you can see it gives a nice smooth look. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the general outline of it. And so I'm using these molded mountain pieces, and some people don't like to use them. I like to use them because I find you can always add more bricks on to sort of take away this molded look, but they give you a nice start. And so I've been experimenting with some different things. I've tried a few different combinations to see what works best. I've tried 3, but I felt like that protruded too far, and I tried adding another one. But I think I'm just going to go with this simple to give a little hill in the corner for some texture. Add the encampment here, and the rest is going to be like a grassy plain. Alright, and so I finished the mountain here. We've got this smooth backside, mostly smooth. And then over here, I'm thinking I'm going to put a little lake right here. And then I'm going to have the path run here, and I can put the little encampment right here. And so that's what I'm going to work on next. I have a bunch of pieces here. I have all these dark blue translucent that I want to use for the lake. And then just some other pieces that I have if I need. So that's what I'm going to work on next. Alright, so I finished the sort of lake here. I put some slopes here. I'm going to have a more flat, muddy area here. And I'm planning on having a little marsh or some other stuff around here. But I definitely want to smooth this up. Then I want to smooth this all up. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to start working on the base for the terrain. Alright, so what I want to use to do sort of this stuff over here is I wanted to use these green things to give sort of a marshy, boggy vibe on the edge of the swamp. And so what I've used is I've taken one of these little leaf pieces, and I've just put a bunch of these over it, layered to make it look thick, and then I can turn these whichever way I want to make a nice effect of the swamp. So I'm going to do a few more of these and then place them around the edge of the swamp. Alright, and so what I've done here is I've added all of this. I think it came together pretty well. I really like this like overgrown effect and how it's also coming over the sides a bit. There were some gaps here, like you can see. I think I managed to just put a little green stud in there to sort of clear it up. And there are a few in here that aren't so packed in, but are a bit loose. But they're still not rolling around too much, you see. And so what I want to do next is I want to sort of get some bricks to transition this into the more green foliage that I'm going to have with these. Over here, I want to get the area for my troopers up here, and I sort of want to blend this together. And then I'm going to finish up this area over here. So that's sort of where I'm headed. And so what I've done is I've started plating this off, and I've sort of finished up this boundary. I've left a little area here because I want to make it a little more rocky than green. And back here where the encampment is going to be, I'm still not sure. I'm wondering if I should make it more tan for like a sandy color, or if I should make it look more temporary and just finish this off with green. So I'm still working on that, but I want to finish this transition here and maybe get started on these rocks up here. So I plated a lot more of this off back here. It still looks a little rough. I want to patch up a few more things, but it's looking a lot better, I think. And next, I think I'm going to sort of go with green on this and then maybe do a little elevated area. And then I want to finish the rocks here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rocks in place here and start building up this area to get that done, and back here. So I sort of want to work on this back area next. So I've gotten a lot more done. I think I wasn't able to fully cover this, but I like the way it looks so far. I've added some of these to add a little depth to it, and I've tried to create some more little shapes in the grass than just random to make it a little interesting. And I do a first layer, and then I stack some on the second layer, and I put these in. So I think I'm sort of going to continue that down here, and then I want to sort of cut it off so I can have a campfire sort of circle here. So I think this is looking really good so far. I really like how this looks. Like next, there are just a few touches I want to make up here, and then I want to try and build up here and create the foliage up here. I do want it to look more rocky and less green like we have here. And then I want this to be like, I want a little area for a sniper or some scout to hide out up there. Alright, so I finished most of this. Back here, I think I want to add some just tiles to more sort of smooth it out. And then I can finish it up there. Here I tried adding this, sort of a little antenna. I don't know how it looks. I might add a crate instead and move this somewhere else because I just don't like how it's all flat around it. And then once I finish this up here, I'm gonna start finishing up the camp. I have these more molded crates and this barrel if I need it. And so I'm gonna finish up here and then come back to down here. Alright, so this is my mock here. I finished up everything and I added all the minifigs. It ended up being a lot different than I expected. I originally hadn't planned on this mud bank here or a lake this big, but it sort of just evolved as I built, and I think the result turned out pretty well. That being said, if I could change one thing, some of this mud bank here looks a little blocky, and I would have liked to smooth that out if I could change one thing about this mock. Overall though, I think it came together pretty well. You can see we've got some rebel guys up on this cliff here, and then we've got our little encampment down here with some fireplace, some crates, and a little antenna. Around the back, we've got a smooth backside on the back of this mountain, and this just lush plains between the little hill and the mud banks of the lake. So overall, pretty well. I think I've learned some nice new foliage techniques, and I'm excited to use them in future builds. Thank you.